Right, so looking at drawing this orthographic shape. So what I've done is got the isometric view again. I put some measurements on, so if you want to use these measurements, you can do. If you want to do your own roughly to the right scale, that you can do. Again, we're using this grid today, so I'm not too worried about you getting the exact right dimensions of it. I'm more bothered about the actual changing from isometric to orthographic. So this one's a little bit different from the ones that we've done before. So we've got a little curve in this bit. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but we've got a little bit of a curve there, which I'm going to show you kind of how to do, to how to kind of mark it out, and then we'll draw it on our page. So as I said, this front view, I tend to do our front view as the most detailed view. So in this case, it's got a little curve in there as well as the sides. So I think that's the most difficult side to draw. These are basically two rectangles that we're going to do on there. So again, we'll start the orthographic view, and then if we get that right, it will mean that the other two views, so the plan view and the side view that we put on, should fall into place. So what we're going to do is draw this bit out. So what I'm going to do is draw the rectangle out first, as if there's no gap there, so there's no little curved bit there, so it's like a little semicircle. So it's 4 tall and 5 across, because that length is going to be the same as that one. So 5 across, so 4 tall, 5 across, so I'm going to draw a rectangle. If I start down here, there is 4 tall, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 down, 5 across, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 down this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this bottom line, just for now, I'm going to draw in lightly, because I'm going to be putting that curve into it, so I'm going to use it as a guide. So, easiest way for us to draw that semicircle, because it's a contiguous semicircle on there, so it's roughly going to be the same one side as the other curve anyway, is I'm going to kind of box that bit off. So what I'm going to do is draw that semicircle in, so I know it's 1 and 1 either side, so I've done that, so I can do that to start off with. So I know that that is 1 there and 1 there. This semicircle, I think it's going to look a little bit different here because it's not quite the same scale I'm going to do. I've got 2 gap there, and I'm judging that to go about halfway up my page. So just to kind of box it out, I'm going to draw lightly again, because I'm going to use these as little guidelines. I'm going to rub them out at the end. I'm going to draw the box in the middle that is 2 up, and it's going to be 3 across, because that's the space that's left in the middle. What I can do from there is I can draw a rough curve, because that's about in the middle. I can draw a rough curve going up that line there. Again, it's not going to be perfect, I'm not using a protractor for it. If you got one you could. And then coming down that line there. So again, it's a rough sketch. I'm not expecting it perfect this time. So this line I've got on there, so that's going to be that rough semicircle there. So I'll just quickly draw that in a bit of a heavier colour, and I'm just for now going to rub those little sketch lines out. So again, got the curve. I'm not bothered about it. I'm not about it being totally perfect. You see, I've got a bit skew to one side, but I've got that rough bit in there for this lesson. Again, other lessons we'll look at getting it exactly right and using stuff like protractors and curved edges to get it right. So I've got that there in this one. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to use my construction lines like I've done in the other ones, going from these top corners. So going from the top corner, not quite touching it, light line going up, just a construction line. Same on the opposite side. So we've done this a number of times now. Now, this one is where this one's a little bit different. So we've actually got, as I said, this shape cut out of it. So this little semicircle cut out of our shape, like a little tunnel going through it. Now, when we draw our orthographic view, even though you can't see that coming from the top, so I can't see that there, I need to show this detail underneath. It's what I call a hidden detail. So it's hidden because we can't quite see it from the top, like if we were looking down on a cube, but it's still there, so we need to mark it out and show it somehow. So what I'm going to do is draw that square block as I would do normally, like I've done for the other shapes, and I'm going to show you how to draw this hidden view in here. So it's going to be 3 across, so I already know how wide it is, so I've got 5 because my construction lines have helped me out and it shows me how wide it's going to be. So I've got that there. I said it's 3 up, 3 for its thickness, so then 3 squares up. And then I'm going across just to finish that shape off. So that's, as we've done before, that's kind of, if it was a solid rectangle, that's what it would look like. So that's that top view I can actually see there. But as I said, I need to mark out this what we call hidden detail there. So I need to mark out where these edges go. So basically the line going across there and the one that's kind of visible from this side you can't quite see because it's been blocked out. I need to draw where them 2 lines are. Now we're going to draw construction lines again. So I'm going to get construction lines. I'm going to line it up this time with their marks at the bottom of the page. So with the edges, so this bit and this bit, and I'm going to mark a construction line going up from there. So I've got my straight edges on there. I'm going to do my construction line, I'm just going to do it going through my shape, same on the opposite side. So basically it's 1 in. So I've got them nice and faint, and for construction lines on orthographic drawings, what we do, so for hidden detail lines, not construction lines, we draw the lines in, but we do them in dashes. Now, so when you do it with a ruler, I'm just doing it there because it makes it a little bit easier for you to see it when I'm doing it. If it's a broken line, or a dash, like these are here, it shows that it is a hidden detail. So it's something that you cannot see from the top, but you can't see from the plan view there, but it still exists on there. Again, this one's going to have one coming from the top of it to kind of show where the top of that semicircle is. So this one you've got from the edges. When I draw this one here, it'll be from the side to show where the top of this semicircle is. Right, so as done before, I'm going to draw construction lines going across. I'm going to line them up for the edges that I can see, so that corner and that corner. Drawing it going across, nice and light, so I don't get mixed up between my construction lines and my physical drawing lines. This time it's 4 high, I've got that down on there. What I can do to get it all lined up and right, I use our 45-degree line. So from the top corner of my drawing, going out, and as we did before, I'm going to draw these 2 lines coming out till it hits that diagonal line. So my diagonal construction line, same with this top one, and then going at 90 degrees down my page until I get to the bottom of my drawing. So again, where all the construction lines intersect or cross over, I'm going to draw these lines on. So I've got my actual, my physical drawing standing out a bit further, and then I need to draw it for a construction line going from the top of this semicircle, so from the highest point going across. So again, that was 2 up on my drawing. So again, I'm going to draw a faint construction line coming out, and where it goes through my drawing, so at this point, again, I can't see it, it's inside the physical shape, so if I look at it there, I can't just see it, but I know it's in there. I'm going to draw a broken or a dotted line going across. So again, if somebody's reading this drawing, they can now tell then that this line, you can't see it, it's this internal one, but it still exists within that shape. So I've added this one, we've added those hidden detail lines, so I've got there and there. The last thing I need to do, as I've done before, is label my different views. So I've got side view, I've got my front view, and I've got my plan view up there at the top. And last little thing to do before I finish it off is just remove any of those construction lines that are touching my drawing. And there you go. So again, I've not done the curve perfectly. again, if you wanted to use a protractor, you've got used to it, or you've got a compass, something you can do it with, you could do it that way if you wanted to. This one, just doing it to represent it, where you've got that little line there. So I've gone my isometric view across to my orthographic view.